Hey everybody, it's Lisa Young Sutton with another video, and today I'd like to talk about the communication cards of the Petit Lenormand. What is the primary card of communication? What's the difference between the letter and the birds? What about the rider and the whip? As always, understanding your primary vibes or core functions will make everything crystal clear. Now let's start by thinking about what we really mean when we say communication. Communication is defined as the exchange of thoughts, messages, or information as by speech, signals, writing, or behavior. Now notice the word exchange because that's important. So which card is the primary card of communication in the deck? It is the letter. Now I am going to show you, first let me show you what deck I'm using, but because this is a theme deck, I'm also going to show you the Dondorf card just so that you can clearly see the image. This is, do not ask me to pronounce that. That looks like Russian. Wait, hang on. Yeah, Tarot Market, RU, yeah, it's Russian. Okay, so that means I'm pretty sure I got this deck on eBay. And it's old, so, you know, I don't know how you know, if you can type that in and find it, I don't know. But anyway, it is really cute. Come on, look at the tree. Look at the tree. Now, this is, look at the dog. That's a Landseer, Newfoundland. Yeah. Anyway, this is a good point, though, about theme decks. Because look at the clouds card. Is that going to make you think of troubles and confusion? No, looks kind of like the stars card. And actually, well, look, there is the stars card. Isn't that funny? Anyway, but I do have a video on do not let the images sway you, right? I think that's the title. I mean, some of them are pretty clear, like that's obviously the clover. Oh, look at the fox. You know, the fox couldn't get any clearer. But some of the cards, I mean, look, you might look at the bear and say, oh, that's the social card. You know, but that's my point. If you know your cards' primary vibes, it doesn't matter what deck you use. You'll look at the number and you'll know exactly what that deck means. But when you're learning, that can be hard because, you know, it's hard to look at the stork in this deck and think of anything other than a birth, even though it could mean moving house or just, you know, some change in your life. Yeah. Oh, wait. Look at the coffin. Look at the nose in the that is so cute. I mean, would you ever fear the coffin card if you use this deck? It is adorable, I have to say. But look at look at the mountain. You would love the mountain, right? You know, using this deck. So that is my point. You can't let the images sway you. Look at the mice. But I can't stop showing because it's so adorable. What is this? Oh, the ship. Yeah, the ship. Well, okay. Look at the snake. Could the snake be any happier the way the image is portrayed here? Sorry, I know I can't hold it still easily with just my hand. But you can see there's a snake there on the wire. Happy New Year. So what is that insinuating here? What is this inferring? That it's the card of transformation, which it's not. Okay. Oh, look at the house. It is adorable, but okay. So I don't recommend new learners using this because you won't be able to get a handle on your card meanings. Okay, anyway, but it's Christmas time, so I'm using it. But that's why I have the Dondorf too. This is my lilac Dondorf. Okay, enough of the decks. Let me zoom in. Let's get to this. Okay. So the letter is the primary card of communication in the deck. It refers to an exchange of information via words. We use it for written, spoken, or signed language. This is a big area of confusion for so many people, so many new learners. They think that the letter is the card of written communication and the birds is the card of verbal or oral communication, and that is not true. let me get into this. Okay, so the letter. The letter is the primary communication card. It refers to an exchange of information. Now I'm going to show you my book because for every card in my book, as most of you already know, I do include the plot, the Petit Lenormand original translation that came with all early decks. It's what the meanings are all based on, right? So it is included for every card in this book. But for the letter, under basic concept, I do explain it a bit right here. The plot for this card is almost identical to that of the rider. The primary difference being that the rider is favorable and exciting news, a visitor or packages that are coming to you, while the letter is neutral and can go either way. This to me makes the letter the general communication card, along with the fact that the early decks all showed an envelope. That was important to me, rather than an actual note or letter, piece of paper. An envelope indicates the conveying of a message from one location to another. All right, so that makes it the exchange of information, an exchange between two people or more. Okay, so the letter also has a directional cue that states when behind or to the left of the seeker. Here, let me get some seekers here. Here, we'll use a man. Okay, so if the letter is behind or to the left of the seeker's card, the communication is coming from the seeker. If it's in front, it's coming to them. Okay? I mean, think of it this way. If anything that's behind the seeker, it's like they're bringing it with them. Remember, the energy's moving from left to right. So you can picture this guy. He's like, going through his spread. He's traveling through his spread, right? He's not walking backwards. Anyway, so anything behind him it's his. He owns it. He already knows about it. It's coming with him, right? Here, you could say he's going to it, right? Think of it that way, right? He's traveling this way, so he's heading into it. So that means it's coming to him. He's heading to it. Okay? All right. So, my point is, in a tableau, that's really clear. But in a small spread, if you lay a small spread and the seeker's card shows up and the letter, pay attention to which side the letter is on. Is it coming from him or to him? Okay, of course, in a small spread, your question will answer that too, probably. Okay. Now, let's talk about the birds. The birds, let's see what the birds looks like in this deck. Oh, there you go. It's two owls. It's pretty clear. And here we have the Dondorf birds. Okay. The birds is the card of busyness, stress, and excitement. At its core, it relates to passing troubles and mental chatter. There is no mention of communication related to this card at all in the original system, okay? With regard to communication, though, it's traditionally seen as misunderstandings that lead to disappointment and frustration, because it is the card of noise as a descriptor, right? When you're using this card for descriptions, it does refer to noise, which is why we connect it to talking and phone calls. But the connection to sound doesn't erase the primary function of the card, which is temporary unpleasant things. When it relates to talking, it's speaking of superficial conversations and informal chatter. All right, now how do you know if it's referring to your own mental chatter or chit-chat with another? Well, if it shows up in a small spread, the context in question would tell you if there's another person involved. And in a tableau, the surrounding cards and placement with regard to the seeker's card will provide that answer. You'll always get the information from the other cards and the placement, all right? So even as the traditional card of a couple, because this is the traditional couple card, right? Because it refers to two, I mean, look, these little two birds here building their nest together, right? But even if you're looking at it as the card of the couple, it's not going to indicate communication between them, all right? Without the letter or the whip, or without something like this. Okay? If you see that, what is that telling you? It's telling you that between this man and lady, between these two people, there's mental chatter or chit-chat, superficial talk, causing stress, right? So yes, in this case, you know, you could just say there's stress between them. There's minor everyday stresses between these two, but that's often, almost always expressed verbally, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, of course, you know, if you had this. Ooh, there you go. Wait a minute. Wait. See, yeah, now it can't get any clearer, can it? Now you know. Now you know there's communication going on between these two, and it's not good. That would be the clearest you could possibly get. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the whip. The whip, where's the whip in this card? Oh, see, there you go. Look at the look at the happy little whip as a broom. And you'll find that in a lot of old decks. A lot of them you'll see, well, here even, right? You have the whip and the, what do you call that? A whisk or a, I forget the name now, but it's kind of like a broom, right? It's like a broom and a whip. Some you do see an obvious broom and a whip both on the card. And some cards you just see a broom, right? Okay, so the whip is the card of discord, and when it relates to communication, we can see it as arguments, serious discussions, and a general lack of agreement. Its traditional meaning is quarrels within the family. It's a card that shows a back and forth exchange, but it can simply refer to beating yourself up if the context and or its position in a tableau suggests that it's just, you know, inside of you. Okay, so quarrels within the family, though, that just kind of goes to show that it's among, you know, two people, and that it's pretty serious. In other words, you're really going to feel it because it's between you and someone you're close to. I think that's probably what they're getting at there. Okay. The rider. A lot of people never even think of the rider really as a communication card, but it is. Okay. The rider is the card of something exciting and new coming to the seeker. Its traditional meaning is a messenger of good fortune unless surrounded by negative cards. So we can see the information that the rider is bringing us as positive as long as there are no negative cards surrounding it. If you're waiting for news or feedback and the rider is near, then it's coming and coming soon. Okay? All right, so, you know, how do you make sense of all these cards? Let me just get the, well, let's think of it this way. Let's think of, here. Let's think of it this way. Like say a situation you asked about ends with the whip, right? If a situation ends with the whip, you're going to find yourself experiencing the birds. And the only thing to do is wait for the rider to show up with the letter and trust that he always does because he always does. All right? So if a situation ends in discord, you're going to be you're going to excuse me, you're going to end up with frustration, right? And disappointment. These are the meanings of the cards. Discord, frustration, disappointment. Here we have new information coming to you. Communication. The rider's, yeah, okay. The rider's bringing you the feedback, okay. And this is, say this was all by itself, it's positive, right? Okay, hope that made it clearer and not, and not the other way around. Okay, let me leave you with this thought. The power of this system, of this Lenormand system, lies in understanding the primary vibes or core functions of the cards. Without that understanding, you'll be forever guessing. Also, understand that the only meanings that any divination tool possess, any divination tools possess, are those you connect to them. Let me repeat that. Understand that the only meanings that any divination tools possess are those that you connect to them. It's you that give the cards their meanings. But those meanings have to be accepted at a subconscious level or it won't work. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, you know, you can go through your deck and you can say, oh, I think the child is going to mean oatmeal. And I think the snake is going to mean those snakeskin shoes I love. And so it's the card of shoes. And I mean, think about it. You can go through and be as silly as you want and give any meanings you want to these cards. But if your subconscious does not accept that, if naturally at the core of your being you're going to look at this card and see a child or see something small and new and growing, then that's what it means. Okay? So that's why your meanings have got to, at your core, make sense to you. Because that's what the cards are responding to. All right? Okay, that's it for today, everybody. So thanks for watching as always. Now go and play with your cards. Bye, everybody.